England and a very cold Michigan. And we were just talking before we came on camera. I don't remember the last time we've done some outside coverage like this that I was that cold.
Yep, it is cold, but you want to know what? If you're from Michigan, you know that just having the sun out today is a huge step in the right direction. So I'm happy to at least see we've got some sunshine for welcoming in Donald Trump.
There you go. All right. So, yes, we're in Waterford, Michigan, but this is also the pre-show for President Trump at SneakerCon in Philadelphia. And let's talk a little bit about that, because when that was released yesterday that he was going to be there, we both were like, wow, this is a little bit off the beaten path of what he's used to doing.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think it kind of shows that, the Trump campaign is taking this into the next step. They're operating like they're in a general election, and they're actually going out to where the people are, and not doing their traditional rally that you saw maybe in 20 and 16. He's going to these things like the SneakerCon. He's going to a lot of different places that will allow them to get additional votes coming into 2024 in November.
Don't you think it's important that we do get the young vote out? As I know the Democrats have done a pretty decent job, even throughout the years, with Rock the Vote, which was supposed to be political, but it definitely leaned towards the Democrats. So this is a way I think President Trump can go out and really capture the youth, seeing he's a cool president for one thing. The guy is a cool president. He embraces that culture, and he's celebrated by a lot of people in that world. So I think it's only fitting that he goes there today.
Yeah, and I've loved seeing him lean into Dana White a little bit and kind of getting more exposure into that world and the Nelk boys and kind of the youth that they bring in. And, we've seen the left do this time and time again, and I love that I'm seeing Donald Trump really lean into this and really, capture some of those votes that maybe we didn't get in 20. We're going to have to do that to win. Just in Michigan, you look at 2016 to 2020, he won the state in 16, and in 20 he lost by a very, very, very slim margin here in Michigan. And so I think that breaking into those areas will only help him.
I agree, and of course, you're from this area, so you've got this whole your finger on the pulse here in Michigan.
Yeah.
What are the over/under that someone comes up with a Trump shoe, like a Trump sneaker? And I think that would be a quick sellout.
That would be amazing. Sure. I don't see like the Nikes of the world or anybody like that doing that, but that would be pretty awesome.
It would be pretty awesome. We'll get into all of this plus this good-looking helicopter behind me. But first, let's talk about our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. They have been a great partner for a lot of our broadcasts, and perhaps you've seen the extended commercial that I've done with Philip from the Birch Gold Group, and it talks about inflation, talks about the uncertainty of the financial future going forward in a Trump victory, and then of course, if Lord, we don't win in 2024, what could happen to the market? So our friends at the Birch Gold Group want to send you a free information kit. It's easy. Just simply text the words Trump to 989898. They'll show you how to convert that traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA. It's easy, it's simple, it costs you no money to do that, and all this information is free. So simply text the words Trump to 989898. That is the Birch Gold Group. And so we're here. We've got a good-looking helicopter behind me, and we have like a VFW haul around this area. A lot of patriots out on this Saturday. And driving in, we saw signs for Lisa McClain. I believe this is her district, Lisa McClain. She's great. Love her in the U.S. Congress. And, of course, this is, you were saying earlier, the President Trump, like this is a very kind of this area can flip either way. But I would only think that after having 4 years under a Biden administration that we could be leaning more conservative here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Michigan, if you were to look at a political kind of heat map of the state, the majority of it's red. With just the east side of the state where Detroit is, that's where I think you're really getting most of the Democrats coming out. Wayne County and Oakland County, where we are now, that's where most of these Democratic votes exist. I would say that some of it has to do with the fact that you've got a lot more immigrants in those areas, and there are a lot more minorities in those counties. So I think that that's very telling too. We start, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later, later, but you've got the border and the mess that's down at the border. That is going to, if we continue to let these people in our country, it is going to change the fabric of our nation. It's going to change future elections. It has consequences. And I think that that's part of the reason why you see that you've got a state like Michigan. It's a very red state overall, few areas of blue. That's why you have a Rashida Tlaib. I mean, she's a Palestinian Muslim. She hates the country. She's pro-Hamas. You've got her here, and then the state also. It's the home of Ronna Romney McDaniel, the former RNC chairwoman. You've got Gretchen Whitmer, the queen of COVID lockdowns, running this state. She's a current governor. You've got Trump's former Education Secretary, Betsy DeVos. She's from the west side of the state in Grand Rapids. And then you've got the former governor and the current Secretary of Energy, Granholm, who's from here. So this state actually does have a pretty expansive set of political individuals, both from the left and the right. And I think it's because it is kind of the heart of the country, and people that can survive in this state really do. They take a rise nationally because it is a red and blue state, depending on what's going on in the world at that time.
And what a clown show that was with the Gretchen Whitmer, the kidnapping scandal and all of that unfolded.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at some of the theatrics that's going on in this state, and not only that, but then all of the election integrity, all the problems we had on election night in 2020. So Michigan, albeit it's a beautiful state, got some great people.
Typically don't recommend coming until about May or June. It's a little cold.
But nevertheless, it's typically such a battleground for politics, and that's why President Trump is here. I will say this, today is the first day for in-person early voting.
That's right. It's the first time we've done this on a statewide election, so we'll see how it goes. This is the first time. Yeah. So we're 10 days out from the primary. So today kicks off the early voting. And look, I mean, I don't like it either. I didn't like it in 20. But you want to know what? This is the new playing field. And this is the game board that the Democrats wanted. We resisted it a little bit in 20, and I think that ended up hurting us. And so I urge Republicans to get out and get used to this. This is the new This is a new world order here in Michigan, and go and vote early and make sure that President Trump and his campaign can actually start getting those votes in and understand where they are and what they need to do.
Yeah, I heard before we start walking. I heard a guy in the hotel today that said he was watching local news, and he said, "Oh, look, today's the first day for in-person voting." But now they're probably going to count the votes, weeks after the election. They're making a joke that pretty much what happened in 2020. Okay, so let's turn around and walk. We're going to give you an idea. This is in today's broadcast is inside an airport hangar. We're going to go ahead and walk that way. I'll follow you, Alex. We'll just kind of walk and talk as we go, and we'll let Alex lead the way here. Of course, you've got some great vendors that are out here. How you doing? There you go. No, it's been great. We've got the vendor set up along the road. We've got some sunshine out, which got to tell you, it's a little effective on the sunshine. As far as heating goes. But it is inside of hangar today, so we'll obviously have all this coverage to you. President Trump is scheduled to speak at SneakerCon at 3 o'clock local time there in Philadelphia. And as we said earlier, Catherine, that's got to be kind of a cool experience for people who might have signed up to go to SneakerCon, but all of a sudden realize that, oh, nothing, the president is speaking today.
Well, and you want to know, the other thing that I was reminded of earlier was that, it was Shaquille O'Neal who actually came out. The left was really getting him to try to come out and make political statements, and he said, look, Republicans buy shoes too. Why would I take that group of people and isolate them? And so I think that's just, it's great that President Trump is there today and really going to be with the people.
Yeah, I think it's a great, that's a smart business person that recognizes that don't alienate more than half
of the country.
Yeah, we're going to try to play a human game of Frogger here in a second. Why don't we go ahead and try to go across Alex real quick? There's no one coming behind us. Thank you very much.
You can see we've got quite a line here.
Yeah, this is quite the live cam right now. But it is interesting that when it was announced about SpeakerCon, there was some kickback, as you would expect from people who obviously, you know, you look at the news cycle today. As soon as anyone mentions President Trump, you got a segment of our society that just absolutely can't handle the fact that he's going to be at an event.
Yeah.
They'll lose their mind.
Yeah. But I also think that it's important to, you know, go to the people that maybe aren't as political, and help them understand why the policies that we talk about.
Stay right here, Alex.
Hi.
Well, what are we doing today?
We're great.
When'd you?
We're here to see Trump.
What time did you guys get here?
10 before 10.
Okay.
Before
How
10
far did
a.m.
you drive?
2 hours.
Okay.
2
Nice.
What's that?
At the beginning, her friends from South Carolina are here.
Okay. That's great.
So, what is it about President Trump that just makes you come out here in 19 plus degree temperatures, wind chill feels like 11?
Yeah.
And only God and Him can save America.
I would think that's a safe assumption. We were talking about some of the biggest problems this state has. Let's talk about Michigan real quick if we can. I'll let Catherine, because she is from here, kind of dictate that.
Michigan, yes. I am from Fenton, so not too far from home. Yes. I got to go to dinner with my parents last night. It was wonderful. I've been
Recently, she's been on back and forth. She was in the White House for a while for the First Lady, Melania, and so we've got an opportunity still away.
Yes.
But let's talk about the inflation. How has inflation hurt you guys?
I retired and I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
Same with my husband. He retired 3 years ago and he had to go back to work. Yeah.
I'm still at work, Brian.
We're all still at work. But I noticed the fuel prices. I know that depending on where you live in the country, it could be sub $3, or here it's mid $3. I think it was $3.59, $3.69.
Yeah, it's up there. It's like $3.29. So yeah, all across the state, it's up, and it's affecting everybody. So
it's the bottom line for sure.
Everything's expensive. I just got my heating bill and I was like, are you kidding me? How do you expect people to live like this? I don't understand it.
I don't think they want people to live like this, Catherine.
Yeah.
They want people to suffer, and they want you to lower your expectations of what quality of life is like.
They want everybody to die. They do.
I'd honestly say they want people to live under the hand of the government and live in poverty. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I'm on Social Security. It's just me since my husband died. And it was like my fuel bill was $479 last week when I got it.
It's tough that when you think about seniors and how they're struggling to make ends meet. You know, I know that my mom is retired. My dad passed away a few years ago, so she's on a single income. She's got to go back to work. Not necessarily that she has to, but in times when you have an emergency, there's not just extra fund to dip into. So a lot of seniors are staying in the workforce longer.
So I know today is the first day of early in-person voting. What have you guys decided to do that, or are you waiting until the?
I have told everybody in my area, you vote in person on voting day only. No cheating.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Would you agree with that as well?
This is her 25th rally.
25th rally. Yeah. Do you remember your first?
Yep. Freeland. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the governor real quick.
Yeah. Let's talk about Whitmer.
Talk about Whitmer for a second. She's horrible.
She's absolutely horrible.
Yes.
Then she puts on that little thing that you get from her every once in a while in your email that we're going to do this common sense gun law because of the stuff that happened at Michigan State. Everybody knows it was a bad deal, right? So you feel sorry for all those families. But name one thing that she did that would have stopped that. Absolutely nothing. All it's doing is taking from innocent people that want to be able to protect themselves and their families, and you're making it red flag laws. So now they can say, hey, I don't know him, but he looks like a guy that might do something bad. And then they can come in your house and take all your stuff. And then they talk about Trump being a dictator. That is a dictator right there, plain and simple.
Simple. That's exactly what it is. And Catherine, that's what it's not. They can't legislate or put any more laws to stop this. We don't have a gun problem. We have a people problem.
We have a mental health problem in this country.
Mental health problem. Yeah.
Look at everybody that's committed any kind of mass shooting or any kind of shooting, and they're all on SSRIs. Every single one of them. And then how many in our last 6 mass shootings have been transgender? I'm sorry, that's a mental illness. And you're not treating it like a mental illness, and you expect us to live in your delusion. I'm not, no, sorry.
Yeah.
It's staggering the amount of trans shooters that have popped on the scene in a matter of years. It is a mental illness, and the drugs that they pump into these kids is doing something to them. I mean, they just have a mental disorder. Therefore, it is something that the media is not addressing at all.
Well, and it's social media too. I mean, look at what the social media culture has done. The Congress has let them run wild. There's no accountability. We know that Instagram was a major leading cause to depression, anxiety, suicide. The list goes on for young girls, 14 to 17, and they just kept doing it. They launched actually Instagram for Kids after this study came out. Then they later went back and they took it off the platform. But I mean, I think social media has really sparked that. And I know Marsha Blackburn, they just actually passed a Children Online Safety Act. Marsha Blackburn led the bill through the Senate. It's going to go down to the House. I hope that they end up getting that passed. But that is definitely a move in the right direction for a lot of the mental health. And it's almost signaling that Congress is willing to accept that there is a mental illness problem in the country, especially among children, with using social media platforms.
Yeah. Catherine Cipher, Brian Glenn, we're live here in Waterford, Michigan. And you guys are watching the pre-show to SneakerCon. President Trump is in Philadelphia today. Before he comes here, he's going to be at SneakerCon in Philadelphia. So you guys watch us in Philadelphia. He's headed your way. Let's go walk and talk a little bit more. We'll follow Alex. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Guy.
You guys, thank you very much. Stay nice and warm. All right, thanks. All right, as we make our way down here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Gotta love that. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something about people that live in Michigan. They're tough and they're friendly.
They are. Welcome to the Midwest, Brian.
That's exactly what that is. All right, let's see if we come down here. Obviously, we got
a little slippery here.
Some political signs as well. We got Lisa McClain running for re-election, and this is her district.
And we're right next to Rashida Tlaib's district.
Right. You know, it's interesting about this. How you doing? Let's stop right here. Come on in. Come a little closer, Alex. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing, darling? I'm excited. I watch you all the time, and I'm so glad to meet you, finally.
I'm willing to crawl underneath this blanket right now. I'm so cold right now. No, keep a blanket on. Let's talk about why you're here.
I'm here to see Trump. Best president we've ever had, besides John F. Kennedy.
What do you think it is about President Trump that we need the most? Leadership, policy, strength?
All of them. All of them. Especially dealing with the border right now. We've got to close this border and save this country.
When I was in South Carolina a couple of days ago, I asked probably 100 people, and I'm not making this up. Every single person said their number one priority was the border.
Yes, the number one priority is the border. We have illegals pouring into this country, getting free health care, free food, free housing, and we have children in this country that were born in this country going hungry. We have veterans living on the streets. We have homeless on the streets. All this money that they're pouring into illegal immigrants, they should be pouring into the people of America.
I agree. And it's interesting because you're in Michigan, and you would think someone in Michigan wouldn't care about the border as much. But you're in Michigan. You see the effects of an open border.
Yes, I do. I have grandchildren. My grandchildren deserve a future in the country they were born in, not it given away to others that what are they coming through. Look at the news, what's happening, and all the beatings of the police officers in New York City. We have gangs going around into the rich areas outside of Detroit, breaking into houses right now, and illegal immigrant gangs. And it's not safe. I live 15 miles outside of Detroit. It's very important that we get this stopped and we close this border. We get our economy back on track. Give our kids a chance to have a good job and a good life and a home.
This is all good stuff here. This is what Americans feel like right now,
Yes.
Catherine, and this is how everyone feels in this line. If I went down the line here, everyone's telling me the same thing: close the border, secure America, get back to the American dream. Today was the first day that you could vote in person. Are you for that, or are you one of these people that you want to vote on election day?
I want to vote on election day, in person on election day. None of this nonsense mail-in voting. None of this. Get rid of it. Get rid of all of it. You need to be in there in person. There are people, yes, that should be able to vote early, that should be able to send their ballot in, but there needs to be verification of signatures. Look at they've proven, and what's her Nestle, whatever that commie woman. Nestler. Yeah, that hid the fact that how many people were they harvesting ballots and everything. They caught it up north. If they caught one up north, how many more happened in 2020 in the state of Michigan? In Detroit. Yeah. But if they did it up in Antrim County, way up north, then how many people were here? How many people were here? Yeah, you come in here with me.
Yeah, she knows. Look at this. This is what you get when you come to Michigan. People are informed here.
This is Michigan, and
You have
this is
to
how
be.
we stick together, and we need to save our country. We need Trump.
Yeah, only President Trump can save our country and save the automotive industry. Do you realize Democrats want to get rid of fossil fuels? Do you know what that's going to do to the state of Michigan? We're a one-industry state, and he is the only one that is going to save the auto industry. We had secure borders. We had low inflation. We had interest rates at 3% where people could afford to buy a home. Now you've got eggs, a dozen eggs, $9. Yep. Gallon of gas. It used to cost me $22 to fill up my tank. Do you know what it costs me now? $66 to fill up my gas tank. He's the only one that will protect true Americans, and there should be one citizen, one vote, paper ballot, same day.
I think you can conclude this Michigan broadcast right now here.
Yes, they did everything
you guys
for
are
us. You covered
fantastic.
everything.
God bless both of you guys out here. And I don't know how cold it is, but being a kid from the South, this is freezing right now.
It's 24 degrees outside in Michigan right now, and that's without the wind.
He's worth it.
He's worth it.
What he went through even yesterday, all he's teaching us is the power of resilience. That's Donald John Trump.
There you go.
Oh, that's great.
You know him about as well as I do.
24, baby!
I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's just go ahead and walk just a little bit more.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. It's a little warmer down there. How we doing? Good. Well, I'm a little cold though, but we're glad thank you very much. We're glad to be out here. All right, let's pull
that
up
was
here.
great.
That's sweet. But Catherine, that's what you get. This is Michigan right now.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me is just the early voting. I know that a lot of folks are really opposed to it, but I think unfortunately it's how we've got to play in order to win, Brian. I don't know your feelings on it, but it concerns me. But I know that if there's one person that's going to change people's hearts and minds on it, it's going to be President Trump.
Yeah. Look at this line, by the way. This goes along the airport fencing here, the runway just over there. How we doing over here?
Hi, guys.
Let's
stop and chat.
Got to say, you look good. You warm?
You would think so, but not so much. No. It's cold.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Aaron from Taylor, Michigan.
Nice.
What is the biggest problem right now in Michigan?
Joe Biden and our governor.
Gretchen.
What's the one thing you would want President Trump to do as soon as he gets in office?
Close the border.
Yeah, I don't care where you go.
Stop funding the war in Ukraine.
There you go.
Yep, there you go.
That's two of the top issues right there. Yeah, we were just in South Carolina, and I talked to probably 100 people before we went to the Trump rally. Every single person said, close the border.
I mean, you got to do it, or we're going to have another September 11th.
more terrorists coming in this country than we know how to get rid of them. So, and I think that when Trump comes back in, we'll have the largest mass deportation we've ever seen in the history of this country. That's what's going to happen. But it's going to cost a little bit of money to do that. But so Republicans better get ready to spend some money.
Yeah.
Great.
But it's still cheaper than the war in Ukraine. You got that right. Thank you so much. God bless.
Right.
All right. So I also want to talk about our good friend real quick about over at MyPillow.com. Mike Lindell has been a patriot in all of this, and we just want to thank him for everything he's done. You can go to MyPillow.com/RSBN. Don't forget to use that promo code. When you do that, you can get some great savings. You got the dog bed, I take the Giza sheets right now and I'd wrap those Giza sheets right
Oh
around
my
me.
gosh, that
How
sounds
you
so
doing?
great.
Thank you very much. I'll take the dog bed, the blankets, the slippers. I'll take it all right now. MyPillow.com. Don't forget to go to MyPillow.com/RSBN. Use the promo code. You're going to save big. Mike Lindell, he's been attacked recently with the process, the credit card processing service that does his recovery network. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The recovery network has attacked him so that he can't process his credit card payments.
It's all part of cancel culture, though. I mean, that's what they want to do. They cancel their political opponents. It's the weaponization of government. It's the weaponization of the corporations working in lockstep. Oh, hi guys.
Hey,
Look
Alex,
at these
come
little
over here for a
guys.
second. Let's talk. Let's talk to some people over here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm cold. It's freezing.
Well, we hear it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
So your first
What's your
rally?
name? Where are you from?
It
My
is.
name's Beth. I'm from Commerce Township.
Very good. Catherine, she's from this
I'm
area
from
too.
Fenton. So yeah, it's not too far from here.
What would you want President Trump to do on day one in office?
Close the border. Number
Make
one.
America great.
Yeah, just make it great.
Make it great again.
Yeah.
Start back the pipeline. Get our energy,
That's another good one.
our strength and energy going again, and become dominant. Like he was almost.
Fix
We
the
were almost there.
Yeah.
Corrupt
I think
DOJ.
I think that's what scares people the most. The deep state. They know that he's not playing around this time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I pray for him every day that he is safe, because these people, they'll stop at nothing.
They will stop at nothing. They absolutely will. How about you guys? Day one, what should he do?
Secure the border.
Secure the border, clean house, and the DOJ, CIA. Make sure they're all for him versus covering for Biden and the deep state.
So you said this is your first rally.
Yes.
All right. Wow. I think this is the second time he's been to this site, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What is he's been running for the past, in some sort of fashion, for the past 8 years now. What is making it? What about now? Why now?
Biden. I mean, he's horrible. He can't talk. He can't read a teleprompter. He's not strong. He's very weak across the international stage. He makes us look like fools.
Yeah.
Doesn't secure the border. They're just pouring across. There's no accountability.
Yeah, I've said for the longest time, Joe Biden couldn't remotely do what Trump's doing right now. There's just no way.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like this.
He walks like a pump is stuck up his ass. Sorry, excuse my language.
Sometimes you just have to describe it the best way, and that's what it is. And he doesn't know where he's at. He's not making these crucial decisions at all.
No, not at all. Just the other day on stage, he went back and forth 2-3 times, didn't know where to stand or what to do.
It is kind of scary. You think about if something was to happen to this country from a terrorist,
He wouldn't know what to do, so somebody else is calling the shots, but he's supposed to get out in front of the people, and he can't even do that. Like I said, he can't read a teleprompter. How is he going to enforce anything else?
We're glad you guys are out here staying warm.
So are you guys going to be participating in the early voting, in-person voting?
In person.
Absentee.
In person.
Yeah.
On the day.
On the day.
With ID. Gotta have ID.
Yeah. What was it like in 2020, you guys, when you showed up in person on election day? Was it a big crowd, big line?
No, there wasn't. There was. It was easy in, easy out for me. I live about an hour away from here, so smaller community, but it was easy in and easy out.
Trump lost by less than 3 points. We all know that. I've said this. I think it's a landslide. I honestly do. I think America is done with what they see, and they're going to show up big time. That's just my opinion. I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right too. I mean, if they vote him in for a second term, they're idiots. They're fools.
Well,
Do you guys feel like there's been a shift in Michigan at all? Like, over the past 4 years, do you feel like...
In 2020, I couldn't wear Trump gear anywhere without being verbally attacked.
Yeah.
And now people stop me and say, "Oh yeah, I like Trump."
Don't you love the
and
ones?
That's a big change.
Yeah, the ones that they're afraid to wear them, but they'll be like, "That's right." They'll secretly go, they're going, "Yes, that's right." It's like, put the gear on, put it on. That's right. You got to walk strong. But I hear you on that, because it's a little different in 2016 and a little different in 2022.
Yeah.
2020 as well, but we go into 2024. We're going to wear it loud and proud and let everybody know.
That's right.
Because we're the smart ones in the crowd. That's exactly right. We're the ones we're the grown up. Remember they kept saying we got to get the grown ups back in charge. The grown ups are coming back in charge.
Hey, what I think is that a lot of the people that voted for Biden last time, a lot of them just aren't going to show up and vote.
I've heard that.
I think that's going to help Trump.
Whatever I call them the free Palestine people. When the free Palestine people show up and they say genocide Joe must go, and then they chant, "We're not going to vote for you in 2024. You've lost our vote." I'm like, good. Go vote for Rashida Tlaib, or go her district and hang out.
Yeah, that's
How you
right.
doing? So, we're glad you guys are out here. We're having a good time. President Trump is speaking today at SneakerCon in Philadelphia before he comes here. So this broadcast right now, we're promoting that event. So that's kind of cool, right? I mean, he's showing up to these kind of off-the-beat type conventions.
And he was in court, yesterday, day before. I mean, the man is unstoppable.
Isn't it great to think that if something was to ever happen to our country, that President Trump will come like a screaming eagle to defend us? So you're safe like that.
He has the ability to do that. Where Biden, there's no way. Trump has the energy to do it.
God bless you guys out here. I'm cold. I'm not going to lie to you. Is that the key to keep moving? All right, got to keep moving. All right. I tell you what, let's go on back that way. We appreciate it. All right, we'll see you guys inside. Yeah, good to see you too. All right, as we make our way, I'm going to quick check of the time here. No, we're not CNN.
Definitely not.
That's a first.
That was funny.
Well, we're glad you're joining us on this beautiful day. It's 2:34. President Trump's scheduled to take the stage in Philadelphia in about 35 minutes or so. So we'll bring that to you live. And we talked earlier about sneakers, and I think that's a good sneaker con is a great place to go hang out. And if you're at SneakerCon and you have an opportunity to watch the president speak, I gotta imagine that's a pretty good benefit, right?
Oh yeah, I think that anywhere that you go would be an awesome benefit to see President Trump speak. He's so energetic, and right now, especially after everything that came out yesterday in New York, he's really fired up, and he's not fired up for no reason. I think that everything that he says, the American people in one way or another feel that they may...
Just a little bit. So let's post up here for a little bit. Go ahead.
They may or may not be attacked or feel that they've been, treated the exact same way. And so I think that he's very relevant in American people's lives right now, with the way that everybody's coming after him, whether it's the IRS or, the local government. People feel it, the way that gas prices are up.
I love this show.
Hi!
Oh my God! I didn't even know I was talking
It's us.
you guys.
I love it. All right.
Great.
We found the one person that's not cold today.
Well, they keep layering clothes on me, and I don't mind.
Yeah.
You got to stay warm.
What's up, girl?
This is it. That's why we're here.
I love
This is my
it.
first time wearing snow pants.
Okay.
Yep.
It's needed. Are you from Michigan?
Yeah, you from this area?
White Lake.
And it's your first time wearing snow pants?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do winter.
Neither do I. Right
Yeah.
now.
I
Neither do
have
I.
an automatic start and heated seats.
Good for you.
I
You've
know.
got to here.
Yes.
Do you ice fish?
Yes.
You ice fish.
But in a little warm thing with a heater. And
Yeah, you got to do
We
it.
drove by a lake, and I even
We did.
mentioned.
Yeah, you got heat in there and stuff.
Yeah,
They
you've
cook
got to
your
have your
food,
little
it's, like,
shanty.
amazing.
got to watch out for the merch cart coming by. So
scarf.
thank you. Okay, so what should President Trump do on day one?
What does he do on day one? He hasn't left. He's still our commander-in-chief, you guys.
I wish you were right on that.
I am.
I don't know if
I'm a little faith, baby. I'm a little faith.
All right, I got a little faith. So close the border? Is that what you do?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's not that hard to enter in here illegally, right?
Well, we go through TSA. We've got to show ID, where we're from, all that
They
stuff.
don't. Oh, well, no. I don't even believe in passports, so there you go.
Well, if you don't have a passport, you can't get in other countries.
Exactly.
But then you don't care if you don't go to another country because you live here.
Yes.
I'm on the same page as you. Thank you.
Lots
All right.
of energy.
We'll keep. I know she is not cold, by
Lots
the way.
of energy.
She is jacked up on Mountain Dew.
We've got
She
Mountain
is,
Dew
jacked up
or
on Mountain
something
Dew.
like that.
But it is interesting, though, when you talk about what somebody said earlier about the funding in Ukraine and the money in terms of cutting off the money to Ukraine. And we can talk about, we spend roughly $223 million a day to Ukraine. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that would do if we spent that money? Hang on a second. Alex, I'm going to take a picture real quick. Yeah, we're live on the air, but go ahead.
Thank you so much.
You can go back and watch that later.
Aww.
Go download our app. Thank you very much. But could you imagine spending $223 million a day on American infrastructure? On Americans?
My goodness. I know. And I mean, even just, we're here in Michigan, just south of us, Ohio, and you've got East Palestine and everything that those people went through. And, you know, I've seen a number of interviews of citizens of East Palestine recently just saying they didn't feel like they had the support and the resources that they needed when they were in need. So we can't even take care of ourselves right now, Brian.
Let's post up right here, Alex, and we'll just shoot this back this way. I want to stay away from the music over there.
Oh, the sun feels so good.
It does feel a little bit better. But when you look at the whole war in Ukraine, and it is really a proxy war, in my opinion, with Russia. That's exactly what we're doing. And we've been told that Russia is this big bad country and Putin is the, you know, I honestly think it's a control of information to justify spending the amount of money. I've never seen the U.S. so obsessed with spending money in Ukraine.
I mean, the left and Democrats, they're warmongers. That's what they want to do. They just keep throwing money overseas. And we have real problems here in the United States domestically that need to be handled. And, you know, we've got law enforcement right now that's completely depleted. They're not able to keep up with their communities. You have schools that are in need of funding. The list goes on of where we could be spending that money. Just infrastructure generally. I mean, Michigan roads, you talk to people from here about the roads, they're terrible, but all of the money keeps going overseas. We don't see anything here. And I think that part of it too is because the leadership at the White House is so poor and really doesn't exist. I mean, look at how terribly Tucker was treated for his interview with Putin.
Yeah.
You know, at least he's talking to Putin. In my opinion, I think that you've got to have somebody in there seeing what he has to say, but also, you know, you let him talk. But Tucker asked him some hardball questions at the end of that interview that everybody wants to ignore, and they just want to say he talked to Putin. Well, guess what? President Trump walked across the border into North Korea and sat down with Kim Jong-un and told him, this is how it is. We are United States. We are not afraid of you. And that was a symbol all over the world that we are number one, and you're not going to scare us, and you're not going to threaten us. And I think that was partially why Tucker did that, is because, yes, he had to sit and listen to the nonsense the first 20 minutes, but he got to get in there and ask some really hard-hitting questions about even one of the people that they have prisoner right now, a member of the media. We wouldn't have an answer otherwise if he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's amazing that how much respect that he commanded in the world of everything, and it just it just shows what type of leader he is. Let's step aside. Show this crowd real quick. Alex, we are live here in Waterford, Michigan. As you're watching right now, double box on your screen is a shot from the stage there in Philadelphia at SneakerCon as they await for President Trump to speak there as well. And so I would probably say we have not been inside yet, so I don't know the footprint inside though. But I will say this: there's a lot of people in line right now.
Yeah, there are, and there's a lot of energy here. I mean, the people from Michigan, they want to hear from him. I think that this state is devastated by everything that Whitmer has done with the lockdowns. I think they're still feeling the impact of the lockdowns. And as we just heard from one of the attendees, I mean, talking about the auto industry and how devastating that this administration has been, including the state governor, just how devastating it's been to them about the auto industry and dismissing it, and then obviously fossil fuels and driving all of these car manufacturers to say, all right, we're going to move towards the electric vehicles, and we don't even have the infrastructure nationwide to handle it.
Could you imagine what that's going to do to this economy? I know driving in, we saw, and if you've never been to this part of the country, you know, when you do fly into Detroit and you do drive through these suburbs, you do see corporate developments one after another. It's all automotive based. It could be components of some sort, part. I mean, think about all the things that go into building a car. It's all here, and there's a lot of that is really tied to oil. I mean, and so you can imagine this war that we have on fossil fuels is it would be devastating to a state like Michigan.
It really would. And I mean, it is really sad when you drive, like you said, from the airport even to where we are now, just how many empty homes there are. And just this started when the auto industry started to decline. But if you think about it, if it continues, Michigan will probably not be in too good of a shape. So
yeah. Well, all right, so if you're now joining us, yes, we are in Waterford, Michigan, and we're ready for just a little pre-show action here for that. We're also doing a build-up to President Trump speaking at SneakerCon in Philadelphia that was released last night on Truth Social. He announced that he was going to be speaking there, and then obviously look forward to the crowd here today. So you're going to see, once he takes the stage there in Philadelphia, we will kick into that, and you'll watch that speech in its entirety. And then after that, shortly after that speech, we'll crank it back up here again and do a little pre-show action here from Waterford. But, Michigan, we've got the first day of in-person voting, early voting here for the primary. And I believe it's February 27th.
It's cold. It's slowing the brain down.
It is slowing the brain down. I can't even talk right now.
Yeah.
February 27th is primary day here in Michigan.
Yep, so we're 10 days out from primary day. It's been really interesting walking around and talking to everybody, hearing that, they don't like this early in-person voting that the state has implemented. This is the first time the state will be doing it on a statewide election. And so people don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like it in 20 when I saw it happening around the country. But unfortunately, it's the way that things seem to be moving, especially in these states run significantly by Democrats, and that's what we've got here in Michigan. And I think that, from my perspective, if your state's doing it and you don't like it, I think you've got to bite the bullet and you've got to do it, because I think that it is really going to be what helps drive the left their get out the vote efforts in the general election. And so this is our kind of test run here doing it. And it'll be done again in the general election, and I hope that Michiganders are able to take a hold of it and just embrace it for what it is.
Yeah, we got Super Tuesday coming up also just a couple weeks away from that as well. So once Super Tuesday concludes and we get past the South Carolina primary on the 24th, then you're going to have a really good indication of, we already do right now as far as Trump's support. He's won Iowa, New Hampshire,
he's on a
Nevada.
Roll.
He's on a roll right now. He's up 40, if I'm not mistaken, plus 45 in South Carolina over Nikki Haley. I have not seen numbers, and we'll do that in the break, of what it is here in Michigan. as far as what the numbers head-to-head over Nikki Haley is in Michigan. I know that in South Carolina it's substantial, 45
Yeah,
plus
I
points.
know that Cruz had him, or Trump had Cruz by about 12 points in 16. I'm sure that, President Trump, he won by 93% in 20, but didn't have anybody running against him. But as you can see, this state is very excited about Donald Trump, and this is because of policies and action. This is because we know what this president can do. We know what Donald Trump can do. We know what he's capable of. He's got a voting record that people can vote on, and so that's why you have so many people here, and they're so excited.
It's really interesting because I've always often said, if Joe Biden was to have an event like this, if he was to come to Waterford, Michigan, and set up shop, pass out donuts to everybody, pass out warm coffee to everybody, he may just need a dozen cups of coffee and a dozen donuts, because I think that's all who would show up. I don't see the support for Joe Biden at all. I don't see enthusiastic through even the Democratic base.
Yeah.
They're not fired up for him. This country's not fired up for him. Independents certainly aren't fired up for him. I just don't know where the support is coming from.
Well, I think that's why you just had the recent, I think it was an ABC poll that said 80% of the country do not think that Biden will make it through his next term. 80%. So that's not just Republicans. That's Republicans and Democrats, that poll. And so I think that, to your point, he certainly could not do anything like this, but I don't think Nikki Haley could either. I'm sorry. I think that it's a waste of resources at this point. It's a waste of money. She's wasting her supporters' money, but we'll go through the democratic process. She can go ahead and take her shot. She's going to lose, probably pretty significantly. And from Donald Trump's perspective, that thing is at every rally we go to. I'm pretty sure they go to every single one.
Well, I will say this. In D.C. after the election, all the rallies that were in that area, that thing was always parked somewhere off of Pennsylvania
I'm
Avenue.
sure all of your viewers, they know exactly what that is because I've seen it at every rally.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk quickly about our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. They have been a great partner of our broadcast and want to be a partner, a financial partner to you. And, of course, they want to show you how to navigate these tricky waters of what could be a really crazy 2025. We have seen great results in the indexes here, but there's so much uncertainty right now going forward. They are the experts in gold, silver, and precious metals. They want to show you how to convert a traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA. Simply text the words Trump to 989898 for that free information kit. Knowledge is power. We've had thousands of our viewers reach out for information, and they have converted not all, but some of their portfolio over to into oil, gold, silver, precious metals. Text words Trump to 989898. That is the Birch Gold Group. If you're wondering where we're at right now, we're in Waterford, Michigan. We've probably got several hundred people, and I don't know the footprint inside this hangar. I would imagine it's pretty big, but we've got several hundred people just lined up to get in. And of course, on the other side of your screen right now, you've got a live look from Philadelphia and the convention center there for SneakerCon, kind of a cool little thing that President Trump is going to. And I would love for someone to design a pair of sneakers for President Trump and put them on the market and sell them.
Yeah,
why not, right?
As I said, like Shaq said, Republicans and Democrats wear tennis shoes. So I mean, you can't just cut out the conservatives and say, no, we're not going to make anything for you. I'm sure there's Joe Biden shoes. I'm sure there's all sorts of sneakers for those on the left.
If someone has Joe Biden shoes, I just want to know who's wearing them, because I know who typically yells at us and it yells at other people in Congress, and I have an idea of what they look like. That's who's buying those Joe Biden shoes. But we're talking about Congress for a second. We just impeached Mayorkas, which was nice. Finally got that done on the second attempt, thanks to Steve Scalise and others coming back. But what's really interesting is the amount of pressure that those who voted against Mayorkas received from their constituents back in their district. They got lit up. I think Ken Buck had 10,000 emails, if one would understand, and voicemails from people that were angry. And, of course, McClintock and Mike Gallagher, who later retired or announced he was retiring the next day after getting kickback on that. So Incredible. Looks like they've got the doors open. Let's flip this camera around, Alex. Let's kind of show what's going on. Maybe we'll post up over there to get a better idea. But it's kind of nice that that they have opened the doors a little earlier. Thank you. I'll read it in the break. Okay. Thank you. It's kind of nice that they're getting the doors open for these people going through here. So.
I've worked with some of the largest retailers.
Cold weather gear. He's a smart businessman out here selling the cold weather gear. Looks like they're starting to maybe get a little bit. Let's just post up right here for right now, and we'll give people an idea on that. But when you look at the level of excitement that people have right now for President Trump, it's almost. I think the left is scared, and that obviously the news that came out yesterday about the court case is discouraging, but it's only in a way, and we can talk about this a little bit later in the broadcast, but also in a way, it just proves, Catherine, they can't beat him at the polls, so they're trying to get him in the courtroom on just a bunch of bogus charges.
Yeah, but Brian, I almost think they're starting to retreat. After that special counsel's report came out, you saw Hillary Clinton say, okay, this might actually be a problem. You had Joe Biden himself going against his entire staff, including what I hear including the First Lady. She told him not to go out and make the remarks after that report came out, and he refused. He went and did it. I heard there was all sorts of rumblings within his staff in the White House. And I think the media has even retreated a little bit. You've got the New York Times. You actually are seeing op-eds that are for exposing the mental decline and actually talking about it. These are things that we did not see in the past. And so I do think you are starting to see folks retreat from supporting him, because you can't deny that he went up in 1 week and 3 times said that he had met with world leaders that are deceased. This is a pattern that you're seeing from Joe Biden. He's not able to be articulate. He gets lost on the stage every single time that he goes out there. And you've got, the country in disarray. He goes out on the beach or goes in vacations. I think he's been on vacations more than he's actually been in the White House at this point. You can't deny the policy failures and the failures that are coming from our commander-in-chief right now. And on the world stage, it starts all the way with the Afghanistan withdrawal. That was devastating. And since then, it has emboldened our enemies, and you've seen wars break out, and you've just seen nothing but complete chaos around the world, and it's because we have a weak leader.
Yeah, and the media protects them. Obviously, they don't ask these questions. They don't. They're not going to say, okay, we've been just told that we might be on standby for Trump. So as soon as he comes out, obviously they're going to jump to that. But the media protects them. They don't talk about a lot of the vacation days.
Of course they do. But, every time I come on here, I feel like I talk about the media because they stir me up. But Joe and Mika, Morning Joe, after this special counsel's report came out, they actually defended him for saying that he did not remember when Beau passed away and when he was vice president. And so Joe and Mika, they both said, "Oh well, that's just old age, and we don't remember when our parents died." And it's like, what are you saying? That they're cultists, and this is it's journalistic malpractice, because they are not willing to go out and say that they are their parents for the talking points of the Democrats. They try to act like they're a real media company. That's not true.
When I was watching I was watching MSNBC last night, and they were talking about the court case, and they were so joyous that this judge defended democracy, defended the rule of law, defended all of this. And I'm thinking to myself, what laws did President Trump break in that case? Who's the victim? Where's the damage?
You've been using a state statute that has never once been used. Never once. Not once. There's no victim.
What's that?
There's no victim.
Yeah. Say that one more time, Tyler. I'm just getting some word we might have. Okay, just getting some heads up on the studio. I know we've got double boxed in Philadelphia waiting for SneakerCon. And imagine a lot of people that signed up for SneakerCon on this Saturday had no idea.
I had no idea. That would be like, I don't know, winning the lottery.
That is kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it would be so much fun.
That is
You would
kinda
never
cool.
expect him to be there, and I think that's great. I think it's showing that he's breaking in to new areas. He's willing to do something other than just coming out to the rallies and talking to the people that we already know support him. I think it's great to show them some love and definitely be here to build just kind of some morale and make them know that there's hope and there's help coming. But in order to win this general election against the Democrats, we know what they did in 20. We don't have to talk about it. But you've got to start breaking into some of these new areas where there's voters that do exist. They've just not gone out and voted before. And I think that that's what you see today with him doing. I think it's very smart by his campaign.
Well, isn't it interesting? You've seen the videos on social media of the inner city, and a lot of African Americans are saying, hey, they're not voting for Trump. I mean, they're not voting for Biden.
Yeah.
When they're asked Trump or Biden, they go, oh, no, I cannot vote for Biden. And they know they've been lied to for years. It's been a lie. I mean, the media, the Democratic Party has pushed this lie forever that they are the party for the minorities. They're the party for people of color. They're the party that are standing up for their rights. And in fact, it's been the opposite, that Republicans have done more. President Trump has done more for the African-American community than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or, I'm sorry, Barack Hussein Obama, two-term Barack Hussein Obama. He has done more for that community than they have.
Well, it's even, you just look at the First Step Act. I know there's a lot of controversy behind it, but the bottom line is that what that did was it allowed folks that were, let out of prison. It gave them hope for a job and to be integrated back into the community and be working members of society. And I think that, a lot of the people that benefited from that was the black community.
Yeah, it was. All right, so let me give you an idea. The gates just opened, so we've got a couple of magnetometers over there. People are kind of filing in. I would probably say as we walked this we walked down this road, I would say there's easily a couple hundred people, if not more, lined up to get in here. Now, this speech, he's scheduled to speak tonight. If we look at the clock here, at 7 p.m. tonight here in Michigan. Now, he'll speak at 3 o'clock there in Philly, but it'll be 7 o'clock here. So when this is over, he'll jump on his plane and fly here.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to some people. They've driven 2 or 3 hours to get here, and they, arrived at 8 a.m. So, I mean, people came far and wide to come and watch the president speak. So, everybody's excited. People are ready to hear him, and the state has not just been.
Let's get a shot of this real quick.
All right, there is the float. Coming to a city near you.
Common sense, right? Common sense coming to a city near you, for sure. Yeah. And that's what it is. When you talk to people and they say, what do you like about President Trump? They'll say it's common sense. He speaks to all Americans.
He does. His policies do. And like I said before, the America First policies, those are policies that are for the people. They're policies that are common sense policies. You don't have to think hard about them because it's based on the foundation of our country.
Yeah. It is based, and he defends us. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you know exactly where he stands. Mm-hmm. There's no kind of shady gray area on anything. Right. It is what you get, and I think when you got people in Congress that might feel the same way. I mean, you've got people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who will absolutely tell you where she stands on stuff. Yeah. I think it's really interesting because obviously I do spend a lot of time with her in D.C., and I get to see a lot of her interactions with the media. Mm-hmm. Is when she's asked by a foreign press organization about anything about the border, anything about our country, policy-wise, she'll always ask, okay, where are you from? and they'll always tell them, I'm from Sky News, I'm from the BBC, I'm from France, I'm from Australia. And then she'll say, look, you don't care about our country. Go back and fix your own country.
Right.
And that's kind of what President Trump is saying. Like, we're here putting America first.
Right.
Before we start to be concerned about anybody else. And unfortunately, Joe Biden has put the entire world in front of the U.S.
Joe Biden, Gretchen Whitmer, these folks know COVID shutdowns far better than probably anybody in the country.
Yeah.
And this state is still suffering from the impacts that did to the economy, to small businesses.
Well, I remember coming through here after the election and during COVID, and let me tell you something. I could not tell you how many. Let's go over here in the sun. Let's move over here. We got to stay a little bit warmer. Everything was closed down, like drive-through restaurants. A lot of places were closed down. It gives a chance to show some of these people behind us, but a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses closed. And I know that Michigan just had the Small Business Association of Michigan did a survey, and only, I think it was 42% of small business owners were optimistic about the future. And that just tells you that, A, they don't like their governor.
Right.
But B, they certainly don't like Joe Biden.
Yeah, I think, the state, you don't forget, this state actually, Trump won in 2016. This state, when you look at the political heat map, this state is, most of it's red, except for very small pieces on the east side of the state. Oakland County, where we are, and Wayne County being two big counties that actually swing the state to the left, and that's kind of where Joe Biden picked up a lot of his votes in 20.
Okay. So today is the first in-person day of voting here in Michigan. So we were talking to some people earlier. A lot of people they want to come day of. I'm a day of kind of guy.
I am too.
Yeah.
But
I do understand.
I think that this is the new game board. And in order to win, we need to be playing on the same game board as our opponents. And if you don't, I think that you risk having a replay of 2020. And, I'll let President Trump speak to where he falls on that. And I think that he'll let folks know probably tonight how he feels about that. I think there is some significance about him being here on the first day of early in-person voting for the state. Nikki Haley's ignoring it, which isn't really a huge surprise to me because I don't think that she has what it takes to actually get through a general election or play on an equal playing field with the left. She's not prepared for it. She's not ready for it. But President Trump, he's been through this and he's ready he knows what he needs to do to win.
What do you think about the future of a DeSantis or a Haley? And I'll give you my opinion and I'll let you give yours or what you think. I think the pure fact that they even ran in the first place, especially after what Trump did for DeSantis and what Haley said she wouldn't do and then she ended up doing, I think it was political suicide for both of them, to be honest with you. I think the base, and I think that I know a little bit something about how the base feels, I don't think they need to really get that trust back from them, and I'm not sure you can do that.
Yeah, I was disappointed, especially with DeSantis, because I think DeSantis is a great governor. I think that he really helped lead our nation's governors to pushing back from a lot of the COVID mandates and vaccine mandates and shutdown mandates that the federal government wanted these governors to impose, and he kind of led the resistance from that. I thought it was great, but I think that he really should have taken a moment to yield to President Trump and what Trump wanted to do. But instead he had to get out in front of him, and that's what happens to so many of these people. You can't get ahead of, the guy that you kind of mock a lot of your, or imitate a lot of your policies after. You've got to yield to him. But I do think that after all of the dust settles, I think Trump is a great guy, and if DeSantis decides to run after Trump decides not to, I think I don't know, I don't want to speak for him, but maybe there could be a time when DeSantis can run and he'll get Trump's blessing, but we'll see.
We'll see. It's going to be an interesting 4 years, and actually it'll be interesting in the whole entire party. If you're just now joining us, Catherine Cipher, Brian Glenn, myself, we're here in Waterford, Michigan, and you've got a double box there awaiting President Trump to step on stage there in Philadelphia at SneakerCon. Kind of a cool little drop before he comes here, and so we'll have coverage there, his speech, then we'll switch over and continue coverage here in Michigan. And so if we look at Pennsylvania for a second, and we'll kind of went down, right after the election, was covering some of the hearings.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Pennsylvania and covering these public Senate hearings about all of the things that took place in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you something. They were on it. They knew exactly kind of what happened election night, and with all the stop voting and then resuming late in the middle of the night kind of deal. So Pennsylvania, they've got their workout as well as Michigan.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is another state where I think you've got demographically the same group of people. But the election integrity issue is real across the country, and I think that we need more poll watchers and poll workers out there. I know that most of my family here in Michigan, they'll be participating in that way. Actually, a lot of them are working some of the polls right now as that in-person voting begins. And I think that you can't just sit around and not say anything or do anything. I think that actually getting involved and helping your community clean up the voter rolls and make sure that the in-person voting is done correctly, I think that's a great thing for people to be doing.
Absolutely. And if you look at other states like Arizona, a lot of stuff going on there. Of course, the governor race that we had in 2022, and then now we have a Senate race with Kerry Lake back in the Senate race. That primary is coming up, and then we'll see what happens in the general. There's so many important elections coming up. And they often say that this is the most important election of our lifetime, and I would probably say that's we thought 2020 was.
We did.
But we also thought 2020, coming off of 4 years of Trump, was almost a guaranteed lock. Yeah. I did, at least, because we saw the policies, we saw the crowds. But when you look at what 2024, it's crucial. We can't go 4 more years of Joe Biden.
Well, what I love is, one of the biggest accomplishments that the Biden administration touts is that the economy is on the rise. What they leave out of that is that the economy was on a downfall because of the COVID mandates that they were putting in place in these states. I mean, I would hope that all we could do is go up. I would hope.
Yeah.
And so that you got to just remember that increase that they keep talking about, that's not from the increase that we saw under Trump before COVID. This is just an increase to get us back to zero.
Yeah, this just gets back to zero.
This just gets us back to neutral.
Yeah. As you can see, let's see, step aside. We'll show this, Alex. We got the people coming in here. They opened probably about 20 minutes ago. So they got to process a lot of people to get in here on this very cold Saturday. But this does not surprise you, someone that's from Michigan.
Yes.
That people are definitely out here right now.
But I am sitting here and I'm shaking. I'm cold and I'm looking at some of these people and I feel like they're not dressed for this. This is a hardy group of people.
I think people absolutely.
We saw some girls with
But you said earlier
showing.
that it's a different breed up here.
Oh, it
is. They're used to it. This doesn't bother them at all. They're used to this cold weather.
But you want to know what, Brian?
What's
they're
that?
all kind.
They're all very nice.
They're all very sweet.
Yeah.
Everything, people here are all so helpful, and I love the Midwest.
You know what's great about this job is we are able to go around the country and all over, and interview people, and find out. Some of the best people are the most patriot-loving, friendly. They love this country. Trump supporters.
Yeah.
But they are painted in a very different light by the media and by the left. But you and I both know, because I've seen them from California up to Maine, down to Florida, up to Michigan, and all four. The kindest people you can ever meet.
Well, because the only way that you can beat them is, by having the media and corporate America make them out as being evil. I mean,
and
You've seen the
racist, and
racist. You've seen the
homophobic
Biden
and-
administration completely weaponize the DOJ to come after these people. I'm sure a lot of them are active in their children's school board. Well, guess what? That could mean that they're a domestic terrorist, according to the definition of the DOJ domestic terrorists. Are some of the parents that are active in the school board, the school board. So these are all America-loving people, and I think the only way that you get the left to kind of show hate is by making them out to be bad people.
All right, stand by. We're going to take it off. We're going to let this play out for a second. I'm going to take our cameras live to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at SneakerCon. We'll have on standby there, and we'll let you just listen in. Any moment, the president is okay. Any minute, he should be walking out of SneakerCon, and then what we'll do to unpack some stuff, so you guys know, is we'll cut to that speech in Philadelphia, and then we will resume coverage as we kick off here in Waterford, Michigan, as we go to our 7 o'clock local time speech with President Trump. Programming note. We will be kicking off our coverage in CPAC on Thursday. Next Thursday, we'll be live from Washington, D.C. Perhaps I'll see you there, Catherine, because you're there. It'd be great. You should come in, hang out with us a little bit, and talk shop. That would be nice.
I know. I've done a couple policy podcasts and talk shows, and I got to be careful. I too much of my MAGA heart shows, because I love President Trump and his policies, and I'm not afraid to share it.
Well, that's what it's about, the policies. You can I love when people say there is no President Trump's policies without President Trump. A lot of people want the policies, but for whatever reason, they don't necessarily want him. I'm like, well, he is the policy.
He is the policy. And, everybody says, I didn't like the mean tweeting. Well, guess what? At least we knew what the guy was thinking. Right now, you've got somebody in the White House. You have no idea what he's thinking. You have no idea what his administration is going to do. And I think that it brought a whole new level of transparency to the White House. People didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. And so they just told us it was wrong and that we shouldn't like it. But now, I want the tweeting back.
Which was funny. Who thought the tweets were mean? They were just the truth.
They were just the truth.
The only people who thought it was mean were the leftist, American-hating Democrats in the media that got called out for their lies. Think about that for a second. Think about the Russia. One of the biggest hoax, and we can talk about this a little bit later. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest hoax that was forced on the American people that the media repeatedly said it was true. It was all verified. It was all documented. The Russia. And now we come to find out, and we knew this a long time, it was all a bunch of crap. Proven to be a bunch of crap, and a lot of the media pushed it even though they knew it wasn't verifiable, but they just wanted to put this on Trump to really stain his presidency.
Yeah. Well, he's always told, I think that a lot of the things that Trump says, every time he comes out and says something that is new to me, and the media wants to go out and say that it's a lie, I'm like, I bet we're going to find out in a year that he was telling the truth. Look at the Biden laptop.
Yeah.
That turned out being true as well. And the Russia investigation, it was a complete distraction for the White House and for the commander-in-chief for the first 2 years of the White House. And just it was a huge political distraction that the left put on, and it just shows that they all had Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, they all had it.
They all had it.
And you said earlier, there's no vaccine, there's no cure for it.
Yeah, there's no therapeutic. There's no therapeutic. Vaccine. It is what it is.
If you don't like President Trump, and there's no matter what the country would happen to the country, you're still not going to vote for the man because you hate him so much. And there's a lot of Democrats in that too, not just Democrats. There's a lot of Republicans, not just Democrats have it. Republicans have it too.
Republicans. I think that now I see. This sounds bad. I don't know if I should. The Nikki Haley bumper stickers that I see on cars, I almost think that's like a virtue signal to the right of I'm a conservative, but I'm the good conservative. It's like, what?
I clutch my pearls. I'm just some of this stuff is too good for me. I'm better than all of this, but we're at a point in our nation that it's going to take tough changes and
Yes.
strong leaders, and we don't need somebody. We don't need on-the-job training, and I think that's what we had early on with Vivek and even DeSantis, and even all of them. It would be on-the-job training for the problems that we have now.
Can we just say how awesome it was that Vivek would campaign with a MAGA hat on?
Well, he did. Well, I think he figured out later on that he had a better chance of getting support if he had a MAGA hat on. I've had an opportunity to meet Vivek, and he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Loves the president for as much as you could see. But here's my problem with him, though. And it's not a problem. I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm not ready to roll out the red carpet to anybody yet on that. There's a lot of people in our camp that just want to give him the keys to the kingdom and say, take off, Vice President, you can go right ahead. And I'm like, whoa. Let's pull that back in a little bit, all right? Does he have a place somewhere, perhaps in the Trump campaign? Absolutely. In the Trump administration? Absolutely. But I'm just wanting to see, I want to see a voting record. I want to see a resume. And that's my only criticism of him. Other than that, I think it's great. I think he obviously.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, good.
You're absolutely right with that point.
And I saw that with Tulsi Gabbard as well. We had so many people that Republicans that just were ready to just throw her the keys to the kingdom and say, "Oh, she crossed over. She's a Republican. She's great." I'm like, well, let's look. Her voting record's awful. Okay, it's awful. I want to see something else from her. I just don't want to see words. I want to see actions. But
well, I think in 2016, that's why you saw a little bit of hesitancy with Trump. People want to see the voting record. I think that's completely normal for somebody running for president. You want to see what they're going to do once they get into office. And President Trump, he knocked it out of the park for so many of us, and really. His voting record now it's impeccable, and he did a great job, and now he gets to run on that great job. Promises made, promises kept.
Yes, people said that earlier. Promises made, promises kept. We're promised you that we are going to get to SneakerCon here in Philadelphia as soon as you got a double box on your screen. As soon as he walks out here in a second, this line is moving. Which is good. They're processing people coming in, which is nice.
Hopefully they have heaters in there for these people.
I was told that there are some large commercial-size heaters inside, so which is something we both need. I can't really feel my hands at this point.
Yeah, I can't really feel my face.
Yeah, I can't feel my face or my toes right now. These cold weather rallies, which the good news is this might be the last one cold weather rallies for a while.
Yeah.
Because Super Tuesday, I think the focus might be more in the South, Texas maybe, which is nice. Maybe Florida,
so what
Georgia.
do you think happens in South Carolina? Do you think Nikki drops out once she gets completely
okay? The latest poll on Nikki was, I want to say she had 22%. But out of that 22%, I think it's safe to say there's a good percentage of just Democrats or anti-Trumpers padding that support. I don't think it's genuine support. I think it's Democrats that can vote, if I'm not mistaken, that they're polling saying that they're for Haley. We'll see who shows up on Election Day. I think she gets crushed. Yeah. And I think she does drop out, to be honest with you. I think she respectfully drops out of the race, which I think she should.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of rumblings about, folks saying she could be the vice presidential candidate. I don't know that I believe that or feel that same sentiment.
Yeah, I don't feel that at all. That's them wishful thinking. That's a consultant telling them. Whoever's a consultant who gets paid lots of money is telling everyone that Nikki Haley can be a vice president. I can assure you, if he's calling her bird brain repeatedly over and over, he is not putting her in a position. And she's a neocon warmonger. He's not putting her in line to be, because if something was to happen or whatever, she would essentially take over. Not going to happen. That would be, I would mortgage my house, so that's not going to happen. But who knows? No, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to say who knows. It's not going to happen.
From Brian Glenn.
There you go. Over here gambling today. What's interesting about the vice president question, it's a great, like one of those fantasy football questions. Who would you want to go in there? You want somebody strong, mature. I think someone that is willing to back them up on the policies, but can also go and maybe pave a new way on an issue. I like Dr. Ben Carson. I think would be I like a lot of them actually. But I think it's got to be someone that can take the MAGA torch in 2028 and run with it, and that the American people have no doubt that the policies that President Trump put in place will remain the policies when this new person takes over in 2028. Yep. It can't be like this pullback of like, are they going to keep the policies? Are they going to pull back? Are they going to go a different direction? I think it needs somebody that's going to literally mirror those policies.
Yeah, a lot of folks feel that it has to be a woman.
See, I don't really check the identity thing. I know what you're saying. I don't necessarily check. If that's the case, it needs to be a black woman. Then, if we're going to check the boxes, we can go and check the box. Black woman that immigrated from foreign country that now stands for trans rights or what? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as
whoever is most qualified.
Whoever is most qualified. That's exactly what we want, and that's what we all want with any job. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny, like when you talk about the airlines, and I forgot what airlines said. They were so proud that they had X amount of female pilots or LGBTQ pilots. And to be honest with you, I just want the best pilot. I don't care what race they are. Don't care who they sleep with at night. I just want the best pilots. Right. Just like I want the best people running this country. Not necessarily any kind of identity politics, but people always like to bring it up. It's kind of like it's fun to kind of kick around some ideas about stuff.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Ben Carson is somebody high up on the list. I know Sarah Sanders' name has been brought up a number of times, but We'll see. I think the only person that knows at this point is President Trump, and I think that everybody's anxiously awaiting to hear who he chooses.
Yeah. I'll wait. All right, so we are in Waterford, Michigan, as we wait for President Trump there in Pennsylvania. We'll go cut to that. Get a live look at what the looks like in SneakerCon here. As soon as he walks out, we'll go straight to that. But meanwhile, we've got several hundred people behind us. They've been letting people in. And let's turn this camera around, Alex, and show kind of where they're going. That is a airport hangar. Yeah. And the stage, if I'm not mistaken, is the opening you're looking at now. If I'm not mistaken, the stage is on the other side. So that is kind of looking out. So I think for crowd purposes, they are going to have these doors open to keep everyone inside, because obviously they need to put as many people as they can in there, and so they're definitely going to max out. We'll go over here and talk to a few folks over here. We're live on the air. How you doing?
Good.
Where you from?
Dundee, Michigan. Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. Flint representing the House. All right, so President Trump, what is one thing you like about the president the most?
Well, I'm still waiting on the verdict from 2020, so I'm going to vote for a third time.
For a third time. Yeah.
For a third
there
time.
You go.
What I like about him, he's not a part of a deep state situation. Also, Kim Clement prophesied that he would be president. He said when Kim made that prophecy, I see a man called Donald. We thought Trump, but he was not even in that perspective of the spirit until years later.
So here we are. So Michigan, we're talking about the governor and think the problems that your state has right now. What is the number one thing you guys need to fix here in Michigan?
I'm a bridge worker. I'm going to say the roads.
Yep, the roads.
That's the reason we hired her, to fix the darn roads. And she ain't done a one.
Are they fixed?
Have not done a one.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Told you.
And she's from this area, so we were talking about the roads on the way in yesterday. They're horrible, aren't they?
Did you hit a few potholes?
Is our suspension still in the car?
Yeah, that's how they sell more cars.
Right.
That's interesting you said that. Okay, outside of the roads, what else do you think needs to be fixed here? Has the border affected you guys at all?
As the what?
The border, open border.
I'm seeing lots of people in Fenton, Michigan. So yes.
Yeah. So are you guys going to be participating in early in-person voting?
In person always.
Are you going to go early?
Day of.
What about you?
What?
Are you going to go early to vote?
I'll go in person.
In person on the day of.
I don't trust the other systems.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's kind of. I think a lot of people feel the same way. They want to vote in person day of. Staying warm?
Trying to.
Cold out here, isn't it?
Cold today.
Talking, are you going to participate in the in-person early voting like this started today? Or are you more of election day voting?
I'm election day voter. I'm going to go the day of.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. I think that's how it should be.
We were talking about the problems of Michigan. What problems do you see here in Michigan that need to be fixed? He said roads earlier, and I would agree with you. As someone who doesn't live in Michigan, you do have bad roads.
Our roads are awful. Yeah, they're awful. Yeah, they are.
Is it the weather that beats some things down, or is it
salt.
just?
I'm gonna say our state animal's probably the pothole. Yeah.
Well, they had to keep the automotive industry going, so they.
Yes, job security.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stand out here with their knees knocking, waiting for Trump.
I don't know, man. My knees and my toes are numb. Watch out, Alex. There's a car coming through here.
Numb.
My toes are numb, and my hands are numb.
It's cold. Yeah, it's worth it though. To see the greatest president ever was.
That's true.
Have you been to a rally before?
This is my third.
Nice.
Yes. Every time he comes to Michigan, I try and make it.
The coldest rally, one of the coldest rallies I ever did was in Washington, Michigan, which is just north of Detroit. Ice cold.
Yeah.
Freezing, snowing that day. That's the day Melania actually showed up to that rally. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
We seen him when he came to Freeland, when he came in on Air Force One. He was president then. That was a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
We were just saying that when you come to a Trump rally, everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's excited. Everyone's like, we all love this country. We all love each other. I'd change your car, the tire in your car. You change. We'd all help each other out. Because that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see that. Could Joe Biden ever have a rally like this?
Joe Biden probably doesn't even know he's alive. He's probably still in the basement somewhere.
What about Nikki Haley? Do you see a
No.
lot of support for her?
No. Yeah. I'm surprised she's still running.
Yeah.
Do you ever see any like Nikki Haley signs around here? Or?
There was a couple, but nobody that's standing in line. No, just the people driving by the billboards and stuff. But
we were talking earlier when this campaign first started, Trump would have these amazing events like this and just put 10,000 people in a place. And then Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis would have 10 people in a Waffle House having coffee, and that was their town hall. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
And then you got probably twice that many outside with Trump waiting. Yeah, even at their rallies, there's still more Trump supporters than their own.
Yep.
We sure hope this election goes our way, that's for sure. We hope everyone gets out and votes.
Definitely.
Well,
what do you think?
Michigan's going to be voting.
Yeah.
For Trump.
Do you think the state is still suffering from all the COVID lockdowns from Whitmer?
I think it put a big dent in everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I came right after COVID, and I'm telling you, it was hard to find a restaurant open. And if it was open, the drive-through only. Okay, we got to throw to Philly. President Trump live at Sneaker Con.
At being one of the first to own this pair of sneakers.
What's up, big crowd? You know? Hello, everybody. So, thank you very much. And we have a few young ladies that are up here crying. Look at you with the Trump 2024. Thank you, darling. I love you, too. Wow. A lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you. Thank you. So nice. So the really nice thing is we have lines, and I want to thank Chase and I want to thank Alan, but we have lines going all around the block. They're going all around this block. They've never seen anything like this one. I just want to tell you, you know, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I have some incredible people that work with me on things, and they came up with this, and this is something I've been talking about for 12 years, 13 years, and I think it's going to be a big success. Your influencers have been very positive. They've been real influences, and they love it, and they love what we've done. That's the real deal. That's the real deal. And we appreciate it. We really appreciate it. More than anything else, I appreciate the turnout, because they say they've never had a turnout like this, and we're going to do things that are terrific. And, you know, it's very important. What's the most important thing? To go out and vote, right? We have to go out and vote. We got to get young people out to vote. And you're going to vote, and we're going to turn this thing around. This country's not doing so well. We're going to turn this country around fast. We're going to turn it around fast. And we're going to remember the young people, and we're going to remember SneakerCon. You know that. We're going to remember the young people especially that wear sneakers, right? But I just want to thank everybody. This has been a lot of fun. We're going up to Michigan. Right after this, I go to Michigan. We make a big speech in front of a lot of people. I won't be talking about I'll be talking about a slightly different subject than sneakers. But you know what? It's all part of Americana. It's all part of our country. And what's happened with all of the people in this room, and I know how seriously you take it, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I just want to thank you very much for being here. It's an honor. It's an honor. You're all sneakerheads. You're sneakerheads, right? Does everybody in the room consider themselves a sneakerhead? I think so. We got to get her up. Get her up. Can you get her up here? Get her up here. Get her up here. Do you want to come up? Come on up. There's such emotion, such beautiful. Come on up. Come on up. Look at this young lady. Let's go. Get her up here. Look at this woman. She's so great. I think she's more of a political person than a sneaker person, but whatever. Come on up. Wow. Look at that. Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank you. So everybody everybody, again, it's been an honor. You stay around and have a lot of fun. These guys do a fantastic job. A great honor to be invited. It's a slightly different audience than I'm used to, but I love this audience. And go out, have a good time. We love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good time.
All right, we're back out here live in Waterford, Michigan. That wraps up a few remarks from President Trump there at SneakerCon. Big thanks to Birch Gold for partnering up with us on this broadcast. Once again, if you want to get more information on how to transition a traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA, our friends over at the Birch Gold Group can help you do that. Just text the words Trump to 989898, and that is the Birch Gold Group. Also, big thanks to MyPillow.com. That's MyPillow.com. Go to the website, put the promo code RSBN. Get the very latest discounts on all of the Giza sheets, the MyPillow 2.0, the dog bed, the slippers. They got them all. You can also go to mystore.com as well. So we're live here in Waterford, Michigan. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this broadcast, and we'll bring President Trump is scheduled to speak on the stage behind me tonight at 7 p.m. here local time in the Detroit area. Until a few minutes later, I'll say so long. We'll see you in a few.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and I have a Christian show called Let It Be Heard, where we analyze culture and current events from a biblical perspective. I highly recommend you guys check us out. We now have episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And basically, what happens is we react to videos, we have talking points, we have on guests, and it's very exciting. Come check us out on Rumble on the RSBN channel. God bless you guys.
Parents and grandparents, the 2024 Kids Guide to President Trump is here, and it's free.
What's up, guys? My name is Jaden Hurd, and I have a Christian show called Let It Be Heard, where we analyze culture and current events from a biblical perspective. I highly recommend you guys check us out. We now have episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And basically, what happens is we react to videos, we have talking points, we have on guests, and it's very exciting. Come check us out on Rumble on the RSBN channel. God bless you guys.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The MyPillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, MyPillow 2.0. When I invented MyPillow, it had everything you'd ever want in a pillow. Well, now there's new technology that makes it even better. MyPillow 2.0 has my patented fill combined with a cooling fabric with temperature-regulating thread. MyPillow 2.0 is truly the next generation of MyPillow.
Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use the promo code to save 50% on your MyPillow 2.0. Not only that, for a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free.
You're sleeping even better.
And cooler, too.
And you're looking good.
Feeling good.
I knew you would.
MyPillow.com.
Welcome to the Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're not like the other media outlets out there that cut and edit what other people say. In 2015, we were created by our founder, Joe Seals, to cover President Donald J. Trump's speeches and rallies, to which we continue to do to this day. We've also covered important conservative events like CPAC, TPUSA, March for Life, and many other important events and hearings around the country. We were made for people like you, everyday Americans who are tired of the mainstream media, who are tired of being lied to, manipulated, and fed an agenda. Our goal here at Right Side Broadcasting is to allow you to see the truth, giving our correspondents and commentators a wide latitude to speak their minds. You won't find anything like this in the mainstream media. Your support through your donations, locals, and supporting our advertisers allows us to continue to cover important events around the country each and every day. So, from us here at Right Side Broadcasting, thank you for supporting us and the right side of history.